by Michael. You live people, schöne Leute. Welcome to my channel. Hi guys. Today we are here to discuss 90 Day Fiance, Before the 90 Days, Season 3, Episode 3. Yeah. Guys, I found this particular season to be a bit meh. I was struggling to decide who to speak about first because, as you know, I like to go through the boring folks first, or the not so exciting couples first, and then build on to the more exciting couples. But this episode was kind of like whatever. But anyways, yeah, some interesting things happen still. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and do this quickly. The first couple, Avery and Omar, right? Now guys, earlier in the episodes, Avery gave us the impression that she became a Muslim, or she decided to convert to Islam, and because a coworker told her about it, and then she went on she went on a Muslim dating site and met Omar. Now in this episode, we're finding out that something isn't right about that story. Their stories aren't coming together at all. So, and chances are Omar is the one telling the truth. According to Omar, because we on Avery's way to Lebanon to meet Omar, we kind of skipped to Omar going to the hotel and booking for her and her mom, and he was giving us the background of how they met. According to him, he met her on a Christian. Sorry guys. He met her on a Muslim dating site. She was on a Muslim dating site. They met and they liked each other. He reached out to her, and she knew how he's very serious about his faith, and she knows this, and she decided that she would convert or follow that lifestyle. So something is very strange. I thought this was her decision, whatever the reason was, that okay, I want to become a Muslim, and then she met him. So the fact that she met him before she decided to become a Muslim, guys, it's very sketchy. And it calls into question the whole concern of her mom and everybody, and just this whole relationship, because you don't change to a religion, especially a religion like Islam that has a lot of restrictions for a Western person. You don't just change to a religion like that because of a man. It's something you do on your own. He was saying that he liked the fact that she decided to convert. He finds that really attractive, and that she's not somebody who was born into the faith. But guys, that's like some serious red flags there, because right now she's all about wanting to be a Muslim, a perfect Muslim woman, perfect Muslim wife. And the fact is, if she's changing for him, then it's gonna become tiring for her real fast. Yeah. So anyways, they met, and they were both a bit nervous about whether or not they would like each other, or they would really click when they met. And so they were both a bit nervous. That was really sweet. And when they eventually met at the airport, both of them liked each other. Yeah. So that alleviated all concerns. So they both liked each other. All is well. And he brought them to the hotel. And on the way, Mom was kind of being very annoying, at least for her. She was being very annoying, asking a lot of questions, and about how what it's like driving there, and why she didn't want to complain about the taxi man driving the way he was driving. And I was really getting on Avery's nerve, because she's trying to create the best impression for Omar, so that he doesn't think that her mom, or I guess Americans are ignorant, and it's not a turn off for him, because she's trying to be on her best behavior so that he will say, I will marry you. That's her end goal. To talk about is Benjamin and Akini. Yeah. Benjamin is 33, and apparently he's been married before, and apparently he has a thing for I guess you would say the term is he's down for the swirl. He has a thing for African American women, or women of African descent, possibly because his first wife was possibly an African American woman. We didn't really see her face, they cropped that out. And they both had a son who is about 9 years old, yeah, if I have that right. And so they're divorced, and apparently the wife was the one who initiated that divorce. And his job is he's a support assistant for some uh, a support assistant for a company, a firm. I forgot if it's tech or what it is, but it's not important. So he's a tech assistant. The fact is, he earns a modest salary, right? And according to him, the divorce from his wife left him heartbroken and broke, literally broke. So, after a while, he decided to get out there, and he went online because he was having a hard time. Well, that's the way people meet each other these days. This is now the traditional way of dating. It's no longer somebody introducing you, or you dating the person you grew up with, or the whole work. So he's done tried to do a couple online meets, and it didn't work out because apparently people kept standing him up, and yeah, so which it's a bit that's a bit embarrassing to admit, but yeah, he kept getting stood up by the dates that he was supposed to meet. So he decided that, you know what, it's not working out for me here in the States or in my near vicinity, so let's broaden my search. And so he Akini reached out to him. Akini is a 26-year-old 26, yeah, I think 26-year-old Nigerian, Nairobi Nigerian woman, yeah. Shout out to all the Nairobians, Nigerian, yeah, women, the Nigerian queens, because yeah, there are a lot of beautiful women in Nigeria, and she's one of them, yeah. Cute girl. Anyways, so yeah, she reached out to him, and they started talking, and he was smothered basically, or should I say, he fell for her because she's cute. She did all her cute poses and everything, and they started talking, and apparently they've been talking to the point where he thinks he's thinking about getting married to her, and she's also down for that apparently. So now he's planning to go to Nigeria to meet her, and yeah, this couple kind of reminds me of, in a sense, reminds me of this. I forgot their name, but they're in the previous seasons, and this American guy that was in his 50s, late 50s or mid 50s, and he was, huge and shaped like a huge woman, and he went to the Philippines, I think it was, and in order to get married to this woman that he met at a bar, they had a bride price where you basically have to pay for marrying the girl. And it's the same thing in the Nigerian culture. There, in certain tribes, you have to, and I'm not gonna say most, but I've heard of this more than one time. Yeah, I've heard of this more than one time. That when you're interested in a woman, you have to pay a bride price, and that's a part of their culture. And it's not as weird as it sounds. It's just kind of like a way of showing that you're able to take care of their daughter. It's a way of being thankful, and letting the family know that you're thankful for the fact that they raised such a beautiful daughter, a lovely woman, and it's kind of like a gift of thank you. But it can be pretty expensive, yeah? And he's talking about the fact that, her family thinks he has money because he's American. And, apparently he thinks that's the premise for them wanting a bride price. But that's ridiculous. So him saying, they think he's rich because they want a bride price, he needs to learn some more about what he's getting himself into. But anyways, he's basically having sleepless nights because this trip is coming up. And he only has $2,000 in his name because he went to the bank and found out he only has $2,000. And this is before he actually has, he actually pays his bills and takes care of his son because he has those responsibilities. And he estimates that when he does that, he'll only have $1,000 to go to Nigeria. No, $1,000 US dollars. Guys, you're taking a trip all the way across the world. I'm not sure how long he's going to be staying, yeah, but you only have $1,000. And you're still planning on going. And he's saying that when he goes there, he will have to decide between prioritizing whether prioritizing taking care of his son, or whether he's going to be marrying her because of this cost. Now, there's no way. I'm not really sure what he thinks he's going to be paying, but I'm pretty sure that but he's not going to be paying them that 200 US for a bride price. But we'll see, yeah? Because if he has 1,000 and he's planning on going on a trip on that alone, that makes absolutely no sense, yeah? I'm sure he's going to find that money somewhere. But let's stay tuned and find out. We'll find out the rest about these guys. Next couple, guys, is Angela and Michael. Now, Angela is still talking about her trip to Nigeria, and she's still planning on marrying Michael so far. And she's, while she's in the state leading up to her trip, she's doing her little research. And the last episode, we saw her looking at wedding venues and, talking about getting eggs or finding a host to carry an egg so that she can have a baby for Michael. So this episode now, she started off going to the a lawyer's office. I guess this is somebody she knows from before, because it wasn't, they seemed quite familiar. So Angela is basically finding out what the long, tedious, and expensive fiance visa process or spousal visa process is like in the state. And my girl was basically sweating in the lawyer's office and you could see that she was having a headache when she found out everything that she needed to do and to prepare, and all the documents that needed to be filed, and what the cost is going to be. And then on top of that, the lawyer is telling her that even if the relationship doesn't work out and they separate, she's still going to be responsible for Michael's ass while he's living in the state. So I guess this is the first time she's hearing about this whole thing. So, she has a lot to think about, because Angela is not signing up for having to pay for Michael if things don't work out. And as things stay, they're kind of on rocky ground right now, because they're still having issues, even from across, I wouldn't even say across the pond, but across the continent. They're still having problems. So basically, Angela is talking to her male friend, to get some perspective, because she's upset because they had a recent argument. Apparently, Michael had his birthday, and he promised Angela that, he's going to stay home, he's not going to go anywhere, because they're going to celebrate together when she gets there, or something like that, right? So she's trying to reach him on his birthday, and he's not answering. And when she finally gets him, it's like, he's making a bunch of excuses and he can't talk to her. So she was quite upset about this. She's telling the guy that, look, yeah, it's not even about the fact that he had his birthday and he told me that we're gonna be celebrating together and he didn't stay home. It's about the fact that he's lying about it. There's no need to lie. But yeah, there is actually a need to lie, because Michael is up to some funny things, and he knows that Angela isn't having it, and she has a problem with him liking pictures and being on Instagram. So whatever he's going to be doing, he's going to be doing it in private. So she's quite upset about that, and she's asking the guy if he thinks she's being a bitch about the whole thing. And of course he's not answering, because he thinks she's being overly she's overreacting, and but she's upset and he doesn't want to hurt her feeling. And what he's saying is, if Michael is 31 years old, and if he was in his position in Nigeria, yeah, he would be, for his birthday, he would be partying it up as well. So he can understand that. And he's basically making excuses that Michael is young, and because he's young and he's not ready for a real relationship, he's going to act like a young man who's not ready for a real relationship. So, Angela, she was like, does he think I'm desperate or something? But the thing is, yeah, Angela, some people will say you're desperate, because I think that Angela could perfectly find a guy in the States with that kind of personality that she has. She could find a man in the States, yeah, but she decided that she wants to date this younger man all the way in another continent, yeah? And he's showing her all this time that he's not relationship material. He's not ready to settle down. Yeah, his friends are told her when she last visited that, you know, this is how Nigerian men behave, and, you know, listen to all this thing about how Nigerian men behave and this foolishness. It's kind of like hearing people make excuses like, you know, this is how Jamaican men behave. Yeah, this is how Jamaican men are. And so, yeah, that's the situation. So Angela is basically calling Michael, and she finally got him, and she was angry as hell. Michael, this is why we always have problems. Yeah, you keep lying, you keep saying this and that, but baby, I love you. I promise, you know, when you come here, I'll make it up to you. Whatever, Michael, whatever. Yeah, whatever. So this is their conversation, and, you know, Angela just stares me up with her expression, you know, with her hand snap, and it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, and Michael is just there the whole time like a nervous little boy, you know, probably just glad that he's over the phone and not in person, because Angela looks like she'll tear his ass up, yeah. Anyways, so that's for Angela and Michael. And at first she was saying that, you know, I need to find out if I'm going to be taking this trip to Nigeria still because of so and so. And then the next minute she's saying, I need to know if when I go to Nigeria, I'm going to be filing for Michael to come to the States. So it's just like one thing or the next with Angela, yeah? We know she's not going anywhere for now, and according to her, she just wants to see Michael to see if he's going to tell her what she wants to hear. Yeah? So in other words, he just needs to tell her exactly what she wants to hear, and she's cool for now. So, you know, we can't bother with Angela, but she's still interesting to watch. And when these guys meet up in person, it's going to be an interesting thing to see, just like the last time. Anyways, so the next couple is, okay, and now we're going to be talking about Caesar and Maria, guys. For some weeks now, you know, rumors have been, I don't even know if it's rumors anymore, but there has been information circulating that the whole Caesar and Maria storyline is fake, and that Caesar is as fake as a fake Louis Vuitton, yeah? Anyways, so Caesar, okay, so basically what is alleged is that Caesar is supposedly an actor / model, and this is where, you know, for me, I'm like, okay, so maybe this story, maybe the story is really real, or some of it is really real, and it's really this dumb, because Caesar don't look like any model to me, or model material. I've seen some photos that they've shown of him, you know, posing and everything, but well, he's probably a good actor at looking anything other than a model right now. And you know, as far as acting, still, if it is that he's really acting and just trying to get attention on this show, he's kind of doing a convincing job in some instances, yeah? Because, you know, you're like, okay, he's trying to convince us that he's really this stupid this whole time, yeah? And after a while, you're like, okay, you know, you have got to see what's happening here. Nobody is this dumb, yeah? So we'll see how this pans out with his storyline. But basically, he's at home. He's invited his girlfriend over, Yanni or some name. He's invited his friend over, and he's packing for his trip to Mexico. So this dummy, yeah, is packing this funeral suit taking out this funeral suit, and his friend is like, no, what's that? What suit is that? You know, and she's like, okay, you know, wear it with this. And, you know, she's trying to be his fashion advisor or his stylist, telling him wear this, yeah, or wear it with this, you know, because you're trying to make a good impression the first time, which, you know, you would think that you wouldn't have to tell him that. And he's like, okay, what about these shorts then? And he takes out this stupid, you know, American flag shorts, you know. This is going to impress her. What about that is going to impress her? Yeah? You're just going to look like a big old sack of bag. Anyways, so moving on, you know, he takes out the ring and he shows his friend, you know, saying that this will impress her. And, you know, the friend is like blown away. She's like, I can't believe he actually is going this far. He has gotten a ring, because she's been hearing this story about Maria this whole time, and they've been trying to meet, and every minute she's standing him up, and and she's basically saying this is not the action of a woman who is interested or who loves you. Yeah. So the blind can see that. Yeah. I'm not even going to make a Stevie Wonder joke, but the blind can see that this whole thing is a mess. Caesar is really playing stupid, and yeah. Anyway, so he calls her up. He calls her up, and I'm going to give this girl her props, right? Do not hate the player, hate the game. And I'm not proud to say, or maybe I am, because it's good to know all kind of people and know how people behave. And I know of females, like this. Yeah. I know of women like this, and you have to respect the game. And this whole thing is like textbook. Textbook. He calls her and he's like, babe, are you gonna book the trip? And she's like, the money you sent me, I need to get my hair done because I want to look cute. I need to get my nails done. I need to go to the dentist. And everybody knows the dentist everywhere is very expensive. So this is our way of saying basically that I'm not going to have enough money. Yeah. But we all know this trick. Yeah? Whether you know women like this or not, everybody knows this trick. Except for Caesar. And he can't see through this that, okay. And, in some instances, people know this trick, and it's fine, when you're meeting up with your girlfriend, or for whatever reason, and she wants to look cute for you, and she wants to get all dressed up, whether it's the first time you're seeing her or not. Yeah, and if you're a man of means, it's fine. It's a female. I have to take care of, my woman, or we have to take care of females. And if I have the money, it's fine. But Caesar doesn't have the money, and the fact is, you sent her $2,000 to book a ticket, right? And she's gonna tell you that she's unable to book the ticket out of the $2,000 because she has all of these things to do. So he's like, babe, that's fine. You're perfect the way you are. Just come as you are, yeah, and everything will be fine, and we're gonna be happy. And I'm like, is this guy not listening to what this woman is saying? Even if she was being sincere, yeah, I'm not taking him for a ride, and she's telling him that, okay, I want to do these things and take care of myself and whatever. And you're going to tell her, no, babe, it's fine. Come as you are, and you'll be fine here. I'll take care of you, and everything is going to be perfect when you come here. I'm not trying to hear that. I want to look pretty. I want to get some things done. Yeah? So she's basically like, okay, because she realizes this conversation isn't going anywhere right now. And she knows her best trick is just to keep quiet, and he'll come running and calling again, and eventually she'll get her way. So he basically is doing somebody's nail, and another customer's nail, and they're talking about him going to Mexico, and what's happening, and the fact that, oh no, before that he actually spoke to her again. And this time, he's like, babe, have you booked the ticket as yet? Because he has his ticket booked, hotel booked, everything. And now Maria is coming up with some excuse that, I'm not going to be able to come in this period because my mom has her birthday coming up, and so on, what, and, I'm just watching this, just looking at my nails like, yes, girl, do what you do best, yeah? Anyways, because I know this trick, guys. Everybody knows this. So, it's pretty obvious. All this time they're planning this trip for weeks and weeks now. Yeah? She didn't know. She never knew that it was her mom's birthday. Mind you, guys, I actually made this mistake recently. And happy belated birthday to my mom again. This was yesterday. Yeah? I know the month of my mom's birthday, but sometimes I'm mixing up the days, between whether it's the 19th or the 20th. Yeah. And then yesterday I was caught up, because, I had some business doing. I was on the road and, had a lot doing, and I got home and, I had some business doing from home. And, I knew it was my mom's birthday, even leading up today, but it's like I forgot the day. I forgot that yesterday was the 19th. And so I was there for the whole while, and then, a message came, because I was even getting messages, a lot of messages coming in, and I couldn't even read them because, and if I have some messages right now from last week before last, that I haven't really, voice notes that I haven't really gotten to touch as yet, it's very embarrassing. And it's because there's a lot going on. I'm doing some stuff right now, and so I just haven't touched them. So, like, I noticed a message came in from my mom, but, I was like, okay, at the moment, I'm doing this, I'll soon talk to my mom because I'm going to call her. And then something snapped, and I realized, I think she said something about happy birthday, and it was so embarrassing, guys, I felt so terrible, and my husband was actually like, yeah, du bist ein schlechter. I'm a terrible daughter. But anyways, so it happens, but if you're planning like a big, obviously, if I'm planning like a big trip, that's another thing. I'm in my country and I'm planning a big trip where I'm going to be leaving my family or wherever to go somewhere else. You'd have obviously covered all the dates way in advance, yeah? Based on what they were planning. And, yeah, she's all of a sudden, her mom has birthday and she's not going to be able to come at the time when they initially planned, after the man done book him ticket and everything. So, yeah, he's like, babe, I mean, can't you, okay, here's what. And then, here's the thing now. At first it was her mom, and then he's asking if there's any way, if maybe she can, oh, sorry guys, I'm kind of sweating a bit. Yeah, I've locked up the place to do this video, and inside has gotten quite warm. And outside is really not that warm today. Anyway, so then she switches her tune, and she's like, yeah, I still need to get some things done. I need to get this and that done and whatever. So he's like, okay, babe, I will send you the money to get the things done. In fact, what I'll do is I'll look for, did he tell her? No, he's like, I'll send you some money to get these things done. Yeah? So that's how he ends the conversation. And, we're all watching this thing, and it's like, this dummy, yeah? This dummy is going to be sending her even more money. Yeah? And she's not going anywhere. So anyways, he's doing somebody's nails, and, they're talking about the whole situation. And he, she's telling him that this doesn't seem right at all. It's not right what she's doing. And if somebody had done this to me, yeah? So he's like, it's because he loves her so much, and when you've invested so much, well, you can understand, if he's been dating her for 5 years now and been sending her money every month, in addition to some other money, this is an investment money is an investment for any man, yeah? And especially a man who has no money, every little penny that they spend, that's some serious investment, yeah? So I can understand when he's talking about, he's invested all this. So it's like he's kind of in a situation where it's like, okay, do I just turn my back on everything, or just keep following this rainbow and hoping for the best? Because I've already spent so much, I've already invested so much time, so much love, so much, whatever. And I need to see this mysterious woman that I've been talking to all this time. I need to meet her. So anyways, yeah, he decides that the woman whose nail he's doing, came up with this bright idea that, hey, why don't you just go ahead and book her ticket? And then if she comes up with an actual excuse after you've booked the ticket and everything, then you know that, she's not sincere. And I'm like, so you're going to give him the worst suggestion ever, the worst advice ever. Tell him to spend more money to not only send her, but to book a ticket for her this time, yeah? And he even said that, he's not even sure he mentioned that once, he's not even sure she's going to be coming. But yet he went ahead and he booked a ticket for her. So we will find out after how this whole thing is going to go, yeah? Because Caesar just keeps pushing the limit of what a stupid person is expected to do. And you just have to sit back and watch. Whether his storyline is real or not, you just want to see how it's going to turn out. Because at some point, the time to meet is going to come up, and we're about to see what's going to happen. So, next couple is, okay, So guys, the next couple is Rebecca and Zayed. So Rebecca is now in Tunisia, and Zayed has basically, I would need to say, convinced her. It didn't take much. He has basically gotten her to rent a vehicle for the next 3 weeks that she's visiting. But not only that, she has to be driving all the time because apparently he's not allowed to drive rentals with less than 5 years driving experience. So anyways, they're back at the hotel. Before that, they're driving to the hotel, and Rebecca is getting on everybody's nerves, I'm sure, including Zayed with her, it's not like this in America. It's like, what is happening? Is this, this is not how they do it in America, yeah? This is not how people drive on the road, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty clear you're not in the States, yeah? So, get with it. Anyway, so they're at the hotel, yeah? And they're at the gate now, and the security is coming around checking the vehicle, and he has this equipment checking the vehicle. And I guess Rebecca, being the best private investigator there ever is, figured out that this is a bomb tracking device, which maybe it is. I'm just joking about her being the best. Obviously, that was a bit of a job, but it probably really is. I don't know what a bomb detecting equipment is, but yeah, she's is like, is he checking for bomb? And Zayed is like, no, don't worry, he's like, he is checking for bombs, isn't he? Oh my gosh, what's happening? This is not normal, blah blah blah. And then she, it hits her, I'm actually not in America anymore. I'm in a foreign country, and things happen, things like this happen, there are bombings. So this is the reality of where I am and what how far I've come. Anyway, so they're in the hotel room, and she took out, why does it look like Rebecca only had like one bag, one luggage? Anyways, maybe I didn't see correctly, yeah? But anyways, she took out her gift for Zayed, this scarf that she made like a real grandmother, yeah? No offense to grandmothers, but I'm just saying, she knitted him a scarf, cute, and he was like so excited about that. And then she took out, the sexy lingerie that she brought, and he's like, oh, this is cute, babe. So then, she went to shower up and change for them to retire for the night. And they, Zayed is talking to the camera crew, and, he's basically saying that he's nervous because, Rebecca is a grandmother. Not basically, Rebecca is a grandmother. So he's nervous, yeah? He didn't say why he was nervous. He didn't say that, okay, I'm nervous because maybe she's very experienced and I've never been with an old woman before. Yeah? But he's like, basically, she's a no, let me take out the basically because I like to use that sometimes. But he plainly said she's a grandmother, not almost a grandmother, she's like a grandmother. She is a grandmother. And she's literally a grandmother in all the senses, yeah? So, yeah. Next scene we're seeing, both of them lying in bed, yeah? Rebecca from the throes of love, and apparently what was a good night for her, and she's like obviously smitten, and she's even more in love, and she's like looking at Zayed, and he's sitting up in bed, and she's like looking up in his face, and he's barely looking, and he's like looking out, and the camera zooms in, and she was like, that was amazing, it was perfect, because she had a wonderful experience. And he was like, really? Okay. Yeah. And he, that's all he said. Something like, really? It was like, I had a great time too. It was lovely. It was like, in fact, he looked a bit lackluster, and he looked kind of disappointed for some reason. Is it just me, guys, or did Zayed really look disappointed? Because I just saw disappointment on his face, and he kind of looked annoyed, like, okay, what's the next thing? And she's there looking in his face, and it's like, I love you, and he's like, what did he say? I love you. Zayed has become the typical the Mr. Me too, me too. What does he like to say? Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, he's become the Mr. Me Too guy. Everything is me too. Yeah. So he basically asked her, do you love me more, after last night? And she's like, yeah. He's like, okay. Because I guess he needed that for his little fragile manhood. And she's like, yeah, I do. He's like, me too. So, he looked so nervous. Well, I wouldn't even say nervous. He looked annoyed and a little bit shy or nervous in front of the camera. And I don't know if it is because, he knows that eventually this is going to air and his parents are going to find out about what happened and whoever else. Yeah, I don't know if that's what that was about, but it was just once a good look, guys. It wasn't a look of someone who was, blown away or really close, had become, more close to her or something. It was just more like, yeah, let's just play this thing out. And, whatever his motive is, let's get this thing done. Because I'm so over this woman. So anyways, they went out to get something to drink or for breakfast or whatever it was. And, they're sitting around a table and he's asking her if she knows about hash or basically he asked her if she knew about hookah. And, she started she's like, it's time to have a serious talk. She's like, Zaid actually came here because I really wanted to get to know you better. And, because she's another one who likes to talk about her past experience with her current boyfriend. And I mean, it's okay if you're just dating a man and you say that, I have these concerns or I'm like this because I've had a terrible experience. And so I'm looking for something different. It's okay to mention that one or two times. But, after a while, guys, if he ain't the one, he ain't the one. But he doesn't need to keep hearing about, what happened with your ex and how terrible it was. And that's basically what he was saying to her. Because she's like, I want to get to know more about you. And she's like, have you ever been married or anything? And he's like, no. Like, it was like, because at one minute he looked kind of nervous, like, okay, what is she about to ask? What does she want to know? What did she find out? And then she was like, have you ever been married or something? And he was like, kind of like, really like, unsurprised by the question. Like, no, I've never married. No. And she's like, okay. Because obviously this is her issue, yeah? She's still waiting to tell him that she's not just married, she's currently married. And according to her, he slept with a married woman. And obviously he's not going to be happy about that. And I would suggest that she wait until she go back to the States before she tell this man that, because he looks like he has some little skeleton in his closet. He seems like the kind of obsessive, jealous kind of man. I don't know how far that would go, but the fact is, it can't be nice finding out after the fact. Yeah, when you probably wouldn't have wanted to. Who knows? Maybe he has a policy of not, or has a rule about not being with married women, and he didn't even have the opportunity to decide whether he wanted to be with her or not, knowing this information. So I would suggest that she wait until she go back to the States before she tell him, and nobody try to tell him while she's there. Since that she's waited so long and missed all the opportunities to say this, she might as well wait till she go back to the States. Anyways, so yeah, that's basically their situation. And yeah, guys, that was it. It was like, oof. Anyways, next couple, yeah, and the most interesting one here is Darcy and Tom. So guys, Darcy has arrived in the UK, and she's been met by her driver that Tom sent for her, because remember, Tom said he didn't want to come to pick her up at the airport because maybe she want to brush her teeth and bathe and all of them something before meet her. Anyways, so Darcy, she was like, okay, she, to be honest, she's a little bit disappointed that he's not there. Who wouldn't be? So, Darcy's coming out of the arrival area with our 1 million bags, like the baggage lady. And, the guy basically, she asked him for a few minutes. She's going to the ladies' room out of the restroom area. She took two of her luggages with her inside, guys. And Darcy basically going up to them bathroom for go bed and do the whole works. And I'm like, isn't she supposed to be going to a hotel first to get ready? But anyways, Darcy's in the bathroom taking bird baths, yeah, doing everything, spending almost an hour getting ready, changing. It was kind of comical watching her in the bathroom, guys. Yeah, it was. Darcy is just something else. Yeah, and I must say, Darcy has a nice little rack. Yeah, she has a cute little body for I won't say for or whatever, but she has a nice body. Yeah, nice looking woman, nice looking grown woman. And yeah, she's there, changing and everything in her boots, stripper boots, and her, her short dress suit or dress jacket, looking all expensive and hookerish. Anyways, so, and it was funny to watch, but it's not even all that strange, guys. It's not even all that strange to go to the airport and after a flight or in between flights or anything, I'm going to the bathroom and see women inside, getting a little touch up, putting on some stuff. I've done it, landed, granted I would have probably brushed my teeth from in the plane anyways. I would have done that from the plane. And you go to the bathroom and you just freshen up a bit because you want to be makeup free and keep your skin clear the whole time. So you have a lot of women in the bathroom doing stuff like that. And but what I've never seen is somebody completely stripped down and changing in the room, in the open. So I'm wondering how it is that there was nobody around, we didn't see anybody around passing or, anybody else using the bathroom. That was what was odd. So anyways, Darcy came out, feeling like $1 million, yeah, looking all good, yeah, shoulders back, all confident and everything. Anyways, so the taxi guy, took her. We saw her going into the taxi, and then after that, like the camera breaks to Tom, and telling us a little bit of Tom. And I must say, in this episode, I found the music choice quite interesting, because even when they were showing what's her name, Rebecca and Zayed, after they woke up, and she was like staring at him, and they had this interesting little pixie music playing, like and it was like a bit slow, and it was like expressing this whole thing. Like, this situation is so funny that Rebecca is here totally crazy about this guy after everything, and he's like not bothered, and the music just perfectly captured that whole thing. So now we have this this music playing to introduce Tom, this British I forgot what particular I forgot the part what the particular instruments and piece would have been, but it was like something you'd expect to hear when you're watching like a British comedy or something. So yeah, he's introducing himself, telling us that he's met Darcy on Facebook, and they've been first he's telling us what he does, that he apparently he's some kind of sales rep or for high end sportswear or athletic or some clothing company. He's a representative, and yeah, apparently he makes decent money, and he travels a lot for it, and he's been the everlasting playboy. And they showed some clips of him of when he was handsome or more handsome. Guys, this wasn't Tom like a surprise catfish. I mean, it's not like he's unattractive or anything, but he has definitely put on some weight. He's like, chubby in the face and the body, Thing to see this man who was the everlasting playboy before, looking like somebody's dad, yeah? And he's telling us that, he's been talking to Darcy online for a while, and she was having problem with her first boyfriend. I think, he started telling us this when he was talking to his stylist or his barber for black people, but for his hair hairstylist. He was getting himself a trim or, you know, and the whole work. So, yeah, and he was telling the guy about how they met and, you know, the fact that she was dating this terrible guy and, you know, she kept telling him about the whole thing and, you know, this is how they met basically. And the guy was like, okay, so this guy will basically make you look like the best thing ever since sliced bread. And he was like laughing, like, yeah. So he's like, you know, showing the guy pictures of Darcy. And, you know, Darcy had some nice pictures because Darcy's a good looking woman. Yeah. She was a good looking woman before all the pumps and, you know, the fakery. And even though she's still attractive, but, you know, she was more attractive when she didn't have so much done. Anyways, so, you know, he was showing a couple of pictures and the guy recognized that some of them had filters. But even then, you could still see that with the filters, Darcy, it's not too far from the truth, unlike Rebecca. You know, so he was like, okay, yeah, she's American, isn't she? You know, kind of like a jab at what a typical American these days they think is like, maybe the whole Instagram look and the whole filtered pictures and everything. Which, you know, it's not us Americans that do that. So, you know, I guess maybe there's more to that statement. So he was laughing and, you know, he's saying, yeah. And he's like, and what pictures have you been sending her? And he's like, well, I sent her the last pictures I've been sending is from 1990 when I, you know, had a six-pack. And obviously he had more contour and details to his face. Because, yeah, he was looking a bit pouty and chubby in the face as well. And then he started telling us, you know, showing us that he's also a high maintenance guy and also caught up in the whole Instagram and the whole selfie things, that he has one good side. Yeah, it's this side. And he takes pictures, you know, with the camera at a 45-degree angle. With the camera at a 45-degree angle. Yeah, slight tilt. And I was like, this guy is like a damn girl. Anyways, but yeah, so men need help too, yeah? And it's okay for them to do little tricks just like we do. Or, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So he's meeting with his sister after, you know, because his sister apparently doesn't know too much about Darcy. Until now, that, you know, he's telling her that, you know, she's coming and, yeah, you know, this time he thinks he really likes Darcy because he found himself actually listening to her complain about her life and moaning, and this is not something he does. So the fact that he was actually doing this means that, you know, yeah, maybe I like this woman a little bit. And he's also talking about being in this phase of life where, you know, after being such a playboy and not being used to relationships and knowing what to do outside of sleeping with women, that now he thinks, you know, I think his sister maybe was the one who brought this up to him, that he should think about finding someone and settling down, yeah? So, you know, Darcy, he said to Darcy, you know, now that this is over with this guy, let's see how this goes. Let's give this thing a shot. Let's try dating. And so, you know, he's telling his sister that he genuinely wants to see what could come out of this, and he already sees Darcy differently, and he wants to treat her differently than he's treated other women. Yeah, which is like a big admittance that he was like a basic dog. So yeah, so his sister is like, okay, and how does she feel, you know? And he's basically letting the sister know that Darcy's already in love with him, and she's ready for a relationship and probably wants to get married and have 5 kids and everything already. So yeah, we move on to, you know, Darcy arrives outside of this restaurant apparently, and Tom is inside, and so Darcy comes out and she's a bit nervous, yeah. She comes out of a taxi, looking like a high paid call girl, but still sexy as hell, yeah. And so she walks in, and of course he was very nervous as well, yeah, because he was telling us he's so nervous because, you know, he probably looks a little bit different than his pictures. But, you know, again, I'm like, okay, they've been doing video talks, but, you know, video chat. But I know, I guess sometimes with video chat, especially with your phone, and, you know, if there's not good lighting, And as we saw from the last video chat where Darcy was with her girlfriend and her sister, that so-called girlfriend and her sister, and she was talking to him, it didn't look so clear. He looked like he was kind of in the shadows. So I don't know if that's what most of their conversation is like. Anyways, yeah, he's nervous, and this was kind of sweet and endearing, because for the first time, Tom didn't look like this narcissistic prick. He seemed like he was genuinely excited and nervous, and he looked like a nervous giggling schoolboy when Darcy walked in. Yeah, because Darcy looked good in person, and he even said it. You look better in person than you look even better in person than you do in photos. Tom was like really happy to see her because she looked good, and he was like a giggling schoolboy. He was dressed like a schoolboy in his vest and and jacket, and Darcy came in and they hugged, and I think they did a quick kiss, and Darcy was also very happy to see him. And guys, Darcy had this in the bag. Yeah, the ball was in her court. I'm not gonna say is because Darcy still has some serious issues. Every minute she's talking about Jessie still, every chance she gets, and she's crying like a little girl. Darcy, with all that she's done to herself and all that she's put forward, Darcy doesn't love herself. She hasn't learned to love herself, and she hasn't learned to appreciate herself and what she has to offer. And she's gonna have problems. You can't be loved by somebody or accept love by somebody or feel like you deserve to be with somebody and that they're lucky to have you when you don't feel like you are that person. And Darcy is an example of that. And so I thought she had the ball in the court because she's a representative of her true self and better. And he was just like, okay, not looking as good as he's been portraying himself to be. Yeah, but he has the attitude, or should I say the confidence to pack it off. Yeah, the only thing is for a while you could see his vulnerability. Yeah, and so there was a little power dynamic there, and you could see that he was nervous around Darcy, and you could see that Darcy was like, okay, it's you, I can tell, but you don't quite look the same, you've kind of changed. Nervous, he's offering to get her a drink because I think he needed a drink as well, to calm his nerves down. And so, yeah, he's like, saying to the camera, I think she seems a bit disappointed, or, I'm not sure what it is, maybe I should ask her, yeah. So he went back and he's like, so, what do you think? And she's like, no, I'm fine. You are, what did you, oh, I like your smile. She said she liked his smile, which was like a way of saying, because you're meeting somebody for the first time that you've been seeing before, the way he said, you look so beautiful, or you look so, you're so gorgeous in person. Yeah, that's something he would have you would have said to him as well, or even say, you're good looking, you look good. But she wasn't really saying that. He was like, I like your smile, you have a nice smile. Yeah. So, at this point, he was like, okay. But she assured him that, yeah, everything's fine, it's all good. And then she, the camera asked her, what she really thought. And she's like, you know what? Looks are, so he's not what he looks a bit different. But that's not what is important, yeah? I want a real man, yeah? And he is a real man. He is a real man, and that's what I need, yeah? And we're like, okay, Darcy, yeah. I mean, yeah, you do need a real guy. You don't need a guy like Jesse who's, full of himself and will treat you like crap. They're talking, and she's like, so what are we going to be doing tonight, or something like that? And he's like, well, you're gonna go to your room, and yeah, she's like, my own room, my room. She's like, yeah. She's like, oh, I thought we were going to be spending the night together, and I was like, Darcy. Yeah, I mean, and it's not even a Darcy thing, because as you can see from Rebecca and who is the other couple that I just met, apart from, yeah, Rebecca and other couples, it's like right away, it's like boom, we just met, boom. So it's not even like, Darcy is unusual, but the thing is, I think she should have just waited to find out what was happening. She made it clear that, okay, she was expecting to spend the night with him. And, I know this is the modern era and women say what they want, and, but she should have just played cool, Darcy, try a different approach, take things easy, yeah? So he's letting her know that she's going to be staying in her own room, and they're not going to be spending the night together. However, he wants to get to know her a bit more, and he wants to, because he really wants to get to know her, and he wants to treat her differently than he's used to treating women. And, I think this is a good gesture, and this is something that Darcy needs, yeah? And she should be kind of like looking like, okay, this is good, yeah? Because I'm normally rushing into things, and he actually wants to spend some time with me without sleeping with me right away. So this is a good start. Yeah, so she's like, okay, that's fine, but you could tell that she wasn't fine. Her expression was saying it wasn't fine. And yeah, she's letting us know that, she thought that they would be spending some time together really soon, so she doesn't know what to make of this, because what, the guy don't want to jump in your pants right away, Darcy, like everybody else who's treated you like crap. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this, because, I'm not sure if he's quite interested or not. It's obvious he's interested. He told you you look good. You can read it. You can see his body language. And what's happening is you have your power and you're giving it away because of your low self-esteem, Darcy. And he's picking up on this. Yeah? He's picking up on this. And as a result, he's no longer in the situation of being the vulnerable person where it's like, okay, that he was. And the humble, not vulnerable, but the humble person that he was for that brief moment when we were getting to know him in front of the camera. He's showing this humble side of him that is perfect, and because of your low self-esteem and you're feeding into your insecurities, so I don't know, we'll see what happens coming up, because we've gotten a little peek at from the very first preview. We got a little peek at her, being very needy and crying a lot, and saying nobody's ever treated her this well before. So hopefully things will go good for Darcy, and she'll start accepting that this is how she should be treated, and taking this treatment from a guy in a nice and classy way, and not be too overbearing. So anyways, guys, I think I've basically wrapped up everybody, and yeah, finished with my review. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this episode. Yeah, what did you think about everything that happened, all the couples? Yeah, what do you think? Do you think that Zayed was also, giving Rebecca the side eye and like embarrassed, like, yeah, when he was lying next to her? And yeah, what do you think about the whole Darcy and Tom situation? Do you, like me, did you find him to be a bit vulnerable and like, almost likable, a likable person for a bit, when we were talking to him, and we could see that he was a bit humble, yeah? And yeah, what do you think about the whole situation and the whole bathroom situation with Darcy? Yeah, because for me, I was just surprised that there's nobody else entering the bathroom with her. Yeah, this is supposed to be an international airport. Yeah, so let me know what you think. And please like and subscribe, share my video, and watch my other videos that have been posted. And coming up, guys, I'm going to be doing a video soon talking about my initial reaction, my initial opinions, or what I thought about Switzerland the first time I visited some years ago, and what my initial thought about Switzerland were. And so that's my next video. I'll just give you a bit about how I first visited here and what it was like. And then I'll probably do a part 2 to that whole impression of Switzerland and what it's like now living here. So yeah, I look forward to your comments, and bye guys. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen.